Welcome to Wilderness Horizons, where we live a cook-build wild lifestyle. Before we get started with the prep work, let's get our juices flowing with some of this delicious bourbon. Did you know this whiskey was aged at sea? How cool is that? I'm going to be using the Traeger today to smoke some pub-style burgers. We'll top that off with some house-made smoked guacamole, grilled onions, and a fried egg. I've started with the onion. Since this will be in the guacamole, we'll dice this up relatively fine. I'm using a yellow onion here to add some sweetness to the dip. Any onion could work. Fresh red onion is typical in guac recipes, but I prefer the sweetness of a grilled yellow onion. I like to balance my protein with some fiber. Here I'm chopping off the ends of some asparagus that we got from our local grocery store. Asparagus is a pretty simple vegetable to cook. Cover it in some olive oil, dust it with some garlic, salt, and pepper, throw it in the Traeger for about 15 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees, poke them with a fork, and if it goes through easy, you're done, and enjoy. Now back to the dip. I'll have a whole jalapeno for grilling. I found a 1 pepper to 1 avocado to be a good heat ratio for the dip. This jalapeno is from our 2019 harvest. We've kept frozen and still packs a nice punch. Next, the lemon. It serves 2 parts to preserve the fresh green of the avocado and to add some fresh juice to the mix. Follow that up with our avocado from Mexico. Having and removing the seed carefully, then cover with some fresh squeezed lemon juice. For the piece de resistance, beef. I've selected 100% ground beef from our local grocery store formed into pub-style burgers. I tend to go with a simple seasoning, salt, and pepper. Now we're going to place everything onto our Traeger that we have at about 450 degrees right now. We're going to place it with the seasoning side down, so that way it develops a nice little char on it. We'll come back and we'll season the tops with some more salt and pepper. Let's get our griddle on. We'll squirt some canola oil on the griddle, followed by the yellow onion we diced earlier. You can't rush flavor here. We're using a low griddle setting and a lid to sweat the onions for about 10 minutes or so. When the onions are about to your liking, I add 6 smashed cloves of garlic to the onions to add some savory flavors. When you can smell the garlic, you're done. Remove from the heat and place in a bowl for later. As you go to open your smoker, you can just smell all those delicious flavors from the asparagus, the oil, the garlic, the beef, the wood-fired smoked pellets that you selected. It all just smells amazing right about now. So at this point, we're going to flip the burgers over. Now that we've created some room on the smoker, we have a location to place our avocado and jalapeno. We're going to place these flesh side down so that way we can develop a nice char on the flesh that we're going to use to make the dip. I've had the avocado and jalapeno on the smoker for about 5 minutes now. I don't want to keep them on too long as they will become too hot to handle, and I really want to get this dip done before we start assembling the burgers. So it's time to pull everything off. The burgers are cooked, the avocado and jalapeno are good to go, followed by the asparagus, which has been on here for about 25 minutes now at this point. Back to the cutting board for one final step. We're going to dice the jalapenos, similar in size to the onions we did earlier, and we're going to take a spoon to the avocado to remove the flesh from the shell. Now it's time to start assembling our ingredients for our guacamole dip. We're going to start with the avocado, which is the base of the dip, followed by the jalapenos, then some of that grilled garlic onion mixture. We're going to start mixing this up with the spoon and then eventually cycle over to a fork to just help with the avocado mashing. Finally, we'll finish this off with some salt and some squirts of the lemon juice. It's time to put all of our hard work together. While the griddle was cooling, I used it to toast some potato rolls and fry an egg. Maybe it's just me, but I can't eat without a toasted roll. Lather on a nice spread of the smoked guac to rest the burger on. I did prematurely remove the burgers from the smoker before adding a slice of American cheese. I'll add that slice right now. Squeeze a mixture of Sriracha and mayonnaise to the top roll for a nice zing if you like the extra heat. Layer a spread of pickles on top of the burger to keep that egg on its most desired pedestal. And there you have it. As a purveyor of delicious burgers, this one rates high on my list. There's just something so satisfying about the yolk of an egg popping on your plate, the creaminess of the avocado, and the heat from the jalapenos and the sriracha. If you enjoyed the video, please tap the subscribe button, and see you next time.